Good morning, Veronica. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Doing well on this Saturday morning. I think that such conferences like we're having actually can, I would say, inspire us to wake up so early in the morning. So I'm really looking forward to what we're having today. Well, I think that we started this year with quite a lot of energy and a lot of ideas within our communication network. We started in March a big project trying to research how COVID-19, how coronavirus influences the digital space. What are the digital challenges society overall globally is facing it. Of course, we're focusing more on the countries where digital network is mostly active, like Balkans, Caucasus, Central Eastern Europe, also Eastern Europe, but also we will be having a little bit of research from the US. So stay tuned. We are going to publish a few things very, very soon. And also we've already published a podcast within this project. So we are starting podcast, so it's going to be another our project. Another our big pillar, and I will be telling about this a bit later during my presentation. Okay, my dear friends, I hope that you're enjoying yourselves on this beautiful morning, and I would really like to start this morning with some beautiful news from us, from the Digital Communication Network, but also from some beautiful pictures, which I'm going to share with you. You know, when we were thinking with Artur what we should say in this part, we did realize that space and digital space is something incredibly important. When you look at this picture, which is the picture from the Hubble satellite made by the European Space Agency, you see all this incredible beauty, you see all the stars, you see a big galaxy. I wouldn't say that the Digital Communication Network, but probably actually it is. It's kind of, I would say, as revolutionary in the digital space as Hubble satellite was some time ago. And when we travel through the space, when we travel through all these galaxies, we see all these beautiful stars in the space, in real space. But when we think about digital space and about all these myriads of constellations, myriads of stars, what do we think about? We can compare them with the people, with their talents, with milliards and billions of ideas, with the things which make them shine really brightly. And this is what we try to unite within our Digital Communication Network. We try to unite these ideas, we try to unite these talents, and we try to make people shine brightly in the sky, I would say, for sure. So, and how did we start? I think Artur has told you a lot about like this story, the history of the Digital Communication Network, but I would like to start with the idea of the research, why we thought that it was really important and why we thought that we needed that. So we realized at some point, it was 2 years ago, that there is a space within the digital space to do some research, and that we can become this new hope, I would say, to analyze things which probably not everyone see, and because we have so many different talents from some different fields, business, social society, international organizations, we have journalists, we have specialists on digital security. We could look at some things from various angles. And 2 years ago, we decided to do research, which was, I would say, revolutionary and still is. It was a research on digital influencers. So what we did, we elaborated a methodology with my colleagues from the center. We realized that we want to see what are the influencers who can make impact in the society. We were interested in those people who can talk about social issues, sometimes about politics, who can talk about values, about democracy, about freedom of speech, about rule of law, about ecology, about responsible parenting, about sustainable development, about things which are incredibly important these days and are becoming more and more important. So when we did this research, what was so specific about us, about the digital communication network, is that we just didn't want to see to come up with this a list of people who can be categorized within our methodology. Here, I think you guys who are from Moldova, you can see that these are influencers whom most of you follow and know. Some of you love them because some of them are comedians, some of them treat them very seriously as they're journalists and they inform you about really important stuff. But we went further, and what was the outcome? Basically, and a very successful project so far, it's Influencers Hub Moldova, where people basically work and focus their projects on 3 fields. It's cooperation, education, and development, and also building the community. So this was such an overwhelming experience that I myself decided to go a bit deeper and to dive into 6 countries of Central and Eastern Europe. It's Belarus, Czechia, Moldova, Poland, Slovakia, and Ukraine, and to see what is the correlation with these digital influencers in social and political sphere and the digital space in each country and media landscape. So in January of this year, when the travel was still possible, I went to Chisinau. And I spent a wonderful week with Stella, Roman, with Artur, and I was trying to get this feeling how the Influencers Hub is working, what's so special about it. And this is the picture from the event, which was led by our other colleague, who is head of training union, Franek Večorka. Here he was speaking about social media trends, and what I saw there, it was again like the concentration of such an incredible energy of motivated people who want to do something in their country, people who want to impact and who want to impact also in digital space. And we did realize that such projects, Influencers Hub, they should be actually multiplied in different countries, and this is what we are looking into now. And I will share some great news with you now, because yesterday we got confirmation that another hub will be built in Kyiv, or in Ukraine. I don't know. I think I'm not going to say the city. I think we will have to decide what's going to be the city. And we're extremely excited about that, because Ukraine is another country. We have a great community. We have absolutely incredible people, motivated, hardworking, loyal and to our values, and also loyal to values we probably all share. So stay tuned with us in terms of this. So there will be more of such hubs coming up. But coming back to what else I saw in and what I found out about in Chisinau. I found out about some other influencers, some other interesting projects people are doing. This is Соседи, one of the TV shows, which is basically held by people from Moldova, and it's in Russian. So those of you who speak Russian, please check it out, because it's funny, and it gives you this satire, really humorous and clever overlook on what is happening in Moldova on political level, on social level. So this information enriched me a lot, and I think that the more we stay, the more we follow this information and what is happening within the digital communication network, the more you will understand how many mysteries, how many incredible talents our community has. Again, so now there are so many other TV shows. They're hosting some funny shows about quarantine time, because we all know self-isolation. And definitely these guys will be in my next research, and definitely this is type of projects we're interested in as well. And another big piece of news I wanted to share with you, that actually, as we've mentioned with Artur, for those of you who joined us a bit later, we're now doing a research project on the influence of digital space caused by COVID-19. And thanks to that, we realized that we actually want to start something completely brand new, and this is our podcast. We already have one podcast from Ukraine made by a member of our community in Ukraine, Anna Ravandash, about COVID-19 consequences. There will be one more. And overall, I would say that we are planning to indeed explore the digital space to make possible that every star is shining really brightly within our network, and we invite you all to be part of it, to enjoy this incredible journey full of fun, beauty, mysteries, but also exciting developments and exciting openings and discoveries. And please feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions about research, about what we are doing. And enjoy the conference today. It's going to be amazing. You're going to have incredible speakers. And I hope this day will be beautiful for all of you, wherever you are, and you're all safe and healthy these days. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. I don't know if you can see me.
Yeah. No, I don't think I can. I mean, I can, but I don't think people can. Yes, probably no. Yes, I guess.
Maybe you should.
Oh yes, of course. I will. I will
remember the part now. The email address. Please tell me what was some of the findings from the research that you are conducting right now on the COVID-19 crisis.
Well, first of all, that I think one big finding is that the digital space has transformed really rapidly and on a massive scale, because a lot of companies, a lot of NGOs, they realize that they have to put an additional special effort to the way they function online. Also, unfortunately, there are some trends we have to be aware of and monitor them, but they're not that great. Like, for instance, that in some countries there is a problem with democracy, and this crisis actually caused the questions we are now thinking about. So how much our government should control us, also using all the modern technologies, how much government is able to adapt to their political system to digital challenges and digital problems, like for instance organizing fair elections online. So this is all we have to be following. And the third finding, most important, is that I think this has transformed our digital space a lot, and it's impossible now, inevitable for us to ignore this fact. And I think that this crisis shows that it's going to be more and more relevant for us to stay really focused on what is happening in digital space. That's why I think it is wonderful that we now have a research unit, and we'll be able to do all these projects and cooperate with other units and see how it's all doing, what is all happening there.
Have the media consumption changed in any way with this crisis?
Absolutely, yes, it has changed. It has changed. Also, a lot of people self-organized using social networks, Telegram communities or or Facebook communities have become really relevant, where people started to share how to cheer up each other, how to help also medical workers, health sphere employees, how to help each other. So absolutely. And And also, I think you know that we've hosted a few webinars on games. So the consumption of games have changed, and also, as you know, probably that Netflix now is prospering. So all these online platforms which can offer online services, they're really prospering now. And this is something also to take into consideration for both civil society governments and for businesses, of course.